A reading from the book of the prophet Joshua. The Lord said to Joshua, "Today I have removed the reproach of Egypt from you." While the Israelites were encamped at Gilgal on the plains of Jericho, they celebrated the Passover on the evening of the 14th of the month. On the day after the Passover, they ate of the produce of the land, in the form of unleavened cakes and parched grain. On that same day after the Passover, on which they ate of the produce of the land, the manna ceased. No longer was there manna for the Israelites, who that year ate of the yield of the land of Canaan. The word of the Lord.
Our first reading on this fourth Sunday of Lent, Year C, comes from the book of Joshua. At this point in the narration of the life of the people Israel from Joshua, we see that they have already entered the promised land. Wow! The dream of this people that used to be a nomadic tribe, subjected to humiliation and trials in Egypt. Now they have set foot on the promised land. God has been very faithful to them. God has led them, and God has made them His own people. Now at this point, as an act of thanksgiving, the people Israel celebrated the Passover, which was crucial for them. The event when the angel of God passed over the houses of the Israelites in order to save them. But the angel of death did not spare the firstborn of the Egyptians. And so when they got to the promised land, they had, in a celebration of gratitude and the memorial, they had to celebrate the Passover. But there is an important element here in the story. They have reached the promised land. They have celebrated their freedom through the Passover. But according to the book of Joshua, after they had eaten their Passover meal, the manna stopped. The manna ceased. Remember the manna? The manna was that mysterious bread that that God sent to the Israelites when they got hungry in their wandering in the desert. And manna, this mysterious bread from heaven that the people Israel collected in the morning, sustained them for 40 years in the desert. But now that they had already entered the promised land, the manna had stopped. Now, what is the teaching being conveyed to us by this ceasing, this disappearance of manna when they have already reached the promised land? The first teaching is this: we are taught about the transitoriness of the goods, even of the blessings that come from God. We should appreciate them while they are here. We should give thanks to God while the gifts are here. But we should remember that we cannot cling to the gifts, even those that come from God. These are good things. We cannot cling to those gifts as though they will last for all eternity. This is what we call inordinate attachment. The gift may be real, but we cannot treat every gift as though it were eternal and it will remain there permanently. So it gives us a certain wisdom to treat the gifts, the good things, the blessings that we have in life with realism. They are here right now. We are thankful to God. We enjoy them. But let us not be too attached to them to the point that we start thinking of them as eternal and permanent. And when they are gone, we become miserable. Now, for example, the gift of a good complexion, the gift of a good bearing. Now, yes, it's gift, but come on, it will disappear. There is a certain transitoriness even to the good things of life. But there is a second lesson that we can pick up. When God had already fulfilled His promise of leading the people to the promised land, now the people had to start working. The land is theirs. Now you start laboring. You start cultivating the land. You cannot just rely on the blessing of God and not do anything. The Lord has already given you the land. Now till it. Now make use of the land. Now make your effort blend with the gift of God so that the land will produce its gift to you. Israel is being reminded, you have received a gift. Now do not waste the gift. Work hard, labor, so that the gift will bear much fruit. Every gift that is left wasted or squandered through neglect, through laziness, through sloth, that gift eventually loses its being a gift. So this first reading invites us, look at the gifts that you have received. They will pass away, but while they are with you, what are you doing with those gifts? Are you developing them? Beware, you might be wasting your gift.